And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to APAC North. It is our second matchup of today, and it's Guts Gaming versus Dwg Kia. Welcome back to the Analyst Desk. I'm Milosh, this is Hap, and this is Jess. And we've been jamming out with the music here in the advertisement before we come in. Hap usually does.
No one joins me.
How about we have a chat then, as Sad Hap is going on, about our two teams. First up is Guts Gaming, a team right now that, you know, lost in the last day and the one before, and, you know, barely inched out a win before that against T1. So when is it gonna go up? Because Marieux's on here. We need to see it.
Yeah, that was probably the biggest disappointment for me so far, is you bring on Marieux, someone who has absolutely crippled even me back in my coaching days at the Six Invitational. You can see him in his jersey right there, a Nora Rengo favorite. And for me, I'm sitting here going, what is it going to take for Guts to bring back a little bit of glory for the Japanese region, number one, and number two, for him to sit there and bring the experience that is necessary to uplift a lot of the team. JJ is very familiar with Marieux as well. They know each other quite well from the region and previous teams. My big question is, when they've brought him in and they've put him on a frag role on defense and a flex frag or a flex on attack, have they just let him choose his role, or has he been forced into a role where it hasn't necessarily been the most appropriate for his playstyle? I would argue he'd be better as a flex support, but considering how the roles currently exist on the roster, I think they're trying to mix too much aggression into their gameplay, and with that kind of experience, they could be a little bit more controlled, and as a result, they would perform better, especially on their attack.
Their opponents, Dwg Kia, our Korean squad, who, you know, lost to Cyclops, but we're all considering Cyclops as the best team in APAC right now. They went to max, well, close to max OT with T1, and they smashed C9. I don't know how to really rate that at this point, but right now, second-rated team in Korea.
I was going to start off with that. They came in as a shocker, really, 7-0ing C9, who has been the top of the board at all times, and then afterwards they lost to T1, and as you just said, lost to Cyclops, the team who we are currently then considering to be benchmark or part benchmark together with Fnatic. In my opinion, they have a very difficult team out of the way with Cyclops, and that might open up some opportunities here to gain some extra points, to start climbing that leaderboard, because we all know how Ace hyped them up at the start of the stage. Like,
he did.
They are the ones that should be able to break into top 4 now. And if they want to do so, there's still a very big opportunity, because I'm quickly checking. They're currently 5th place, 4 points. That is 1 point behind Talon.
And it's really good too, because there's a couple of teams that are on 3 points as well, and they're teetering on the edge of trying to also overtake Dwg Kia, but Dwg Kia's got that extra point, and this is why these overtime points are so important.
So big.
This is where it starts to get into the nitty-gritty, because you could have one overtime loss and like that be all you need to get yourself into the green zone.
And after this Playday, you only have 3 more matches, 3 more chances, because this is Playday number 4. You got 5, 6, 7. Every time you go to overtime, you really put yourself on the edge. You want to be in the top 4. You want to make it to the major. You want to have the chance at that. So you got to be careful.
Yeah, and especially with APAC, the top 2 teams, of course, like the top team will go to the championship matchup, who are automatically qualified for the major, but the next 3 in line need to fight against the next 3 in line from APAC South and the number top 2 to find that major spot. So you really need to make sure that you're coming into that tournament, the qualifier tournament, with that good pace and good form. So that is start now, just first of all to qualify, and second of all to get everything straight.
That's why in APAC North it can get so tight so quick. Though our head-to-head, one player out of each one of these 2 teams, put them up on the screen for everybody to see. Which 2 did you select? It is Lily and Yas. Yas has been very impressive, but what are the comparisons here?
I'm glad you brought that up, because the highest rated player in all of APAC North is Yas. He's not unfamiliar to being one of the high rated players as well throughout this particular league. And I had to, unfortunately, pick the highest rated player for Guts to compare. And Hap and I were speaking about this before. And unfortunately, that rating, which you can't see on the screen, is still 0.30 below what Yas is able to put on the board. The kind of opening kills he's getting, even though he's a support player and he shouldn't be getting opening frags. The clutches he's putting on the board. He is an incredible player to me. And we tried to pick the most impressive player from Guts, but against a man like Yas.
And not just that, I want to quickly put up 1 extra point for Yas. We saw it against Cyclops when the Selma opened up the mute jammer from below. That was a little bit we touched into. It was 2 pixels. Yas spotted it, quickly tossed out 2 impacts and destroy both exothermics. That is great adaptation and great, well, reflexes really coming out from such a player like that.
Maybe we should do something
Maybe
special,
we should do something with that, you know? Just, who knows? Maybe one day.
More content incoming, ladies and gentlemen. Our map, though, for this series to put up on the screen and see which one we go to between Guts Gaming and Dwg Kia. Again, it's all Korea. It's in Japan in this series.
Oregon again?
No, APAC North.
We're not escaping it.
We're really not.
Well, Guts are starting on the attack as Dwg Kia have chosen to start defense.
Oh, damn.
Pull up the stats and let's go beyond them. Serve as a reference point for where we go. Any favorites in this one?
That one hasn't played it yet this stage. That is what I know.
Fair.
No, but the Korean Open was good.
Yeah. That is something to look at. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know who's going to be taking it here. I would normally say Guts is favored due to the fact, of course, they're a little bit higher up in the standings as well. But Dwg Gaming, they just played against Cyclops. They probably learned, of course, not the same map, but they realized what went wrong because they've been tested by the top team in the league, which often gives teams a little bit of a boost to go through. So that might just give them the upper hand here in Oregon. I'm
feeling for Dwg Kia because just looking at the recent performance in the Korean Open, they were able to beat Talon on at 7-3. They smashed Cloud9 7-4 on this map. They got recent results on this map. And overall, they have a lot of plays and a lot of good statistics on it. So for me, Dwg Kia is looking hot. I look over to Guts and recent performance against Fav, Crest Gaming, even Eva E. I know it doesn't say much against Eva E, but the past 3 times they've played it, good performance on this map. I think it's a good map to test both teams. Who's better at Oregon?
67% win rate on the defense for Dwg Kia. That was massively boosted by the fact that they played Cloud9 and absolutely smashed them early on. But still, we'll have to see if today really is the test that we expected it to be. So, ladies and gentlemen, can Dwg Kia really push themselves up into the top 4, or will Guts play the game today? It is Guts versus Dwg. We're going to go to Oregon. We've got Ace and Des on the desk.
Thank you very much, Milosh. Tim, I know you are a massive Dwg fan, but it's not going so well for the boys so far at this stage.
They haven't quite got as many points on the board as I might have expected, but overall I've been happy with the performances from Dwg Kia. They've been playing reasonably well so far, and it's felt like they've been on the edge, on the cusp of some big upsets and some big results. And Des, I'm doubling down, it's gonna be today.
You know, I think everyone has this week. All of us have gone with Dwg Kia as our prediction, and after their first 7-0 week against Cloud9, everyone was like, wow, you should be excited. They then lost to T1 the next week, 8-6. I mean, 11 quite single-handedly dragged that line over the game over the finish line for a 20-8 performance. And last week against Cyclops, they lost 7-4. So if you look back at the actual results, losing 2, winning 1 by an absolute landslide against Cloud9, who are also yet to find a win, you'd say on paper they look a little bit weak. But let's not forget, against Cyclops, 7-4, not a tragic result given how well Cyclops are currently playing. So let's see how they fare against another Japanese outfit in Guts. The ban's coming through to start out is going to be the Thatcher. It is just the go-to ban for most maps these days. And interestingly, the ban coming out of Guts to Monty, that's a pick that they like running sometimes in their lineup for one. The second thought behind it, in the Japanese league at the minute, there is about a 30% ban presence on Monty. Japanese teams do not like playing against Monty.
Absolutely not. Defenders start coming in. Mirror will be the first, and I'd expect something reasonably normal. A Kaid, a Maestro maybe, a Valkyrie to follow this one up.
Surely.
Okay. Melusi, interesting, taking the Banshees off the board. We haven't seen too many bans coming in for Melusi in either EUL or APAC so far. It's one of those operators came in. The gadget's pretty oppressive, but came in and was banned out less than we expected. When she first came in, it was like, oh man, Melusi's going to be banned every single game. And she wasn't. Teams did get used to playing with her. Of course, she's had the recent nerf, don't forget. So now when you move into the presence of the Banshee, it actually opens up and you can shoot it. You don't have to get up and melee it. So that's really impacted Melusi as well. So surprised to see the Melusi ban there.
I think we see a ban for it every now and then. I'm sure you've got the exact stats for it somewhere. As every now and then a team has taken her away, but you mentioned the successive nerfs. One to the gadget, the one before that I believe was the changing gun for her as well, just to stop her being as oppressive as she was, but it hasn't really done too much to, I'd say, stem the pick potential for her. A lot of teams are using her, especially on sites where it is overly relevant. But enough chatter about, theoreticals and times gone by. We're into this first game. Now, in the previous fixture, we saw quite a lot of Wamai, Jaeger being brought along together, along with Goyos and Smokes with shields. A similar thing coming out of Dwg Kia here, the only key difference being, of course, that there is no Wamai on side. It's just a Jaeger in this case, but still going for that very much entrenched setup here with the reinforcements inside of security and the shields on site.
Certainly looks that way. We can expect a little bit of mid-floor presence into the round, I would have thought, and then maybe a little fall back into Freezer. They're obviously trying to keep a hold of that area. You can see there the hatch has been opened as well. So whoever it is that ends up playing in there, it's possibly going to be courted. It might be Yas on the Legion. We'll see who ends up there. They're just going to have that option to fight for as long as possible and then drop out of security and into Freezer and back to site. Now, Yura, immediate pressure onto that front door, opening things up. Plenty of droning going on, as we would expect inside the first 20 to 30 seconds. But they didn't drone that, Des, did they? A bullet to the face from Woogieman.
Droning is going to be so important. We saw it in the previous fixture. If you don't drone these boys out, they're going to start taking heads early in the round. And it was T1 who really paid the price against Talon for that. A second kill. That is a wonderful shot out of Yas onto Lily and Schauber Corridor. That's 2 kills in the early round, undroned, unanswered. And now down 1 with a massive numbers advantage to start.
I'm pretty sure I'm right in saying, Des, that Yura had a torrid day. I know you like that one. He had a torrid day on the entry.
One of your favourite sayings is he's had a torrid time of it.
Had a torrid time on the entry the other day, if you remember. Yura, I think he took the first 3 or 4 opening deaths, and then he comes in here and it just continues on for him. 5 versus 3, Dwg Kia on the defensive, so they're just going to hold their ground now. They're unlikely to get too aggressive here because there's absolutely no need to. The problem for Guts Gaming is that Dwg Kia are out on the roam still. They haven't been shut down. They haven't been pushed back to site, and so those flanks are likely to be exposed.
Absolutely. Mariu, with his work down into Freezer, is going to find one. So there's some neutralization coming back there against Coated, a player who has been kind of old faithful, old reliable, I always like to say, in the back line. A couple of games he's really popped off, and we've said Coated the goated as he finds 2 or 3 kills in a few rounds. Here, at least, though, he will be the opening death for the side of Dwg Kia into this 4 versus 3, and there's still quite a lot of time to play with here. 70 seconds or so. This south side push looking to be the go-to solution for Guts. No one pushing to the north, so it could make things a bit predictable for the side of Dwg Kia. We'll see how they respond, though, because you never know, and it takes a couple of headshots to come out of Guts, and suddenly they've got massive side control.
All the pressure at the minute is coming in through Freezer. That allows Dwg Kia to focus solely on that area. Could be dangerous for Guts, as we see. I think the realisation is hitting Dwg Kia that that is the danger zone, and they are ready to lock it down as Guts try to push late in the round here. Now then, the wall has been opened up. Damage is being done. Chip, chip, chip. One after the other. Light taking a lot of damage. Mario is low. They keep trying. He finds the shoelaces, Des, but he doesn't manage to take the boots off. I tell you what does, though. A double nitro kill from Woogieman coming in. What a round for the Woogieman. I think it was more Boogieman in that round, Des, as he gets at least a 4K. I don't think it was the ace. I think there was 1 kill came in.
Yeah, one more
elsewhere. But what a round for Woogieman. Not necessarily a player we always expect to be coming in with those big multi-kill rounds, but he started as he meant to go on there.
Honestly, I think this is the thing about the side of Dwg. Outside of maybe Katsang, I can think of a time that all 4 of these players have had big rounds where it's, moments of brilliance from individuals, hero plays, as I like to call them. So not so much saying they haven't got teamwork, but that is where a lot of reliance tends to come in. But as soon as they stacked up inside of Freezer there and they know that they'd force Mariu away from playing on the other side of the drone hole, he pushed a little bit deeper inside of Freezer, sat towards the south along with 1 more, and I thought, well, they've got Woogie at a C4 on side. They had 1 more on the mute, I believe, although Kota did go down early on, and I thought, you're just asking for a C4 to come through that higher up soft wall area, looking into Freezer, and sure enough it came out in a big double C4. I always speak about one-dimensional teams and how one-dimensional attacks are just not the way to go, and Guts have learned there a very painful lesson that forcing everyone through Freezer when you have a single doorway to work your way through towards the site, that is never going to pay off for you.
Unlikely. Now we head into round 2. We're just going to get a little replay coming in there of a nice kill here.
Oh, this is absolutely.
Absolutely.
I think you were writing notes at the time, and I was like, oh, yes.
Absolutely beautiful there. Just picking up that pixel angle out from. We saw, the reason that he was able to play that position. We saw the utility that had been used in security by the defenders to enable him to just play inside of there safely. And you've got to ask questions from Guts there. Are the drones picking up on that? Are you approaching that angle really from in the best interest of your team, taking that fight on a pixel corner like that? But we head into round 2. The site is going to be Domes, and we've got immediate pressure coming in towards the attic. Now, Yas is in Big Tower, T2 at the minute. This pressure all the way up on T3. We'll see how long he can hold on for. He's being pressured by 2 here, so he doesn't necessarily want to stick too far into this. He gets shots on the boots again. It's Yura. Yura with Sin struggling on those entry battles, and it gets no better for him at the minute as the sledge takes some chip damage. Yes, he's going to dip away. A minute wasted, a little bit of health as well. Not the end of the world for the Legion.
I mean, I'll give him there, like, you're rappelling in. You can't really take an entry battle from below, but half a second earlier maybe on the impact, you'd have got the floorboards out, you'd have killed the man on the rappelling. It was a really good start from Yas. Unfortunate not to find anything there, but a bit of time wasted. Putting the heebie-jeebies up the attackers there, so Guts are now going to have to pause out ever so slightly. And sure, you've dealt with the Legion playing in Big Tower. Now you've got to think about Attic, where you've got Woogie dug in a bit deeper. He's got the ADSs at his feet. Again, a bit of a contrast to the previous game where we had Wamai playing here with a lot of those magnet stats out. There's Yas finding yet another starting kill. So although he wasn't given one early on, at least he's managed to find himself one in this case.
It's going to be Mario who goes by the wayside. That's the Hibana, doubled up with Yura going not far behind on the sledge. 5 versus 3, a situation that Guts had to try and work from last time. And Dwg Kia right now, they are looking hot to trot. They are coming out here and really dismantling this Guts team in the early rounds. Now then, JJ manages to find one onto the Legion. That's Yas gone, and a big kill for Guts Gaming as this push starts to take shape. One thing I'm going to note, there's no diffuser in hand. Bear that in mind. There's 50 seconds left to go. Time isn't a problem just yet, but it could become one. JJ will be shut down ultimately by that man once again. Woogie Man, he is doing everything that Dwg Kia need right now.
Almost got the second kill onto the game breach as well. Would have been a big one because it would have shut down the pressure from that side and left the remaining man in a 1 versus 3. There's still got something to work with here. Guts, about 30 seconds or so. C4 coming out to Trophy Door, finding nothing, and that nade beautifully cooked onto Woogie takes him down. That's Light, reducing this to a 2 versus 2. A second one a few seconds later. Rin neutralizes it out. 1 versus 1, and Light needs to go aggressive. 15 seconds, put the flank left, right. Does he know? Yes, he does. 3 closing kills for Light. Will take the round for Guts.
What a finish from Light there. That double nade, that is just absolutely perfect utility usage. There were 3 kills there. Absolutely no risk whatsoever there to Light as he just threw those explosives on in and just watched the devastation unfold in front of him. Absolutely beautiful stuff there. 1 apiece, and that round was stolen away from Dwg Kia. They can feel hard done to there.
Absolutely. I mean, for Light, fair play. That's one of the moments that this is where Guts shine, in my opinion, is that you have these odd rounds where Yura can completely run away with it. JJ's had his day as well. In that round, it was Light coming up big. And I don't kind of want to put a sour note on the success in that round, but again, it's coming down to moments of individual brilliance. And for both teams, that has kind of been a staple for them, I'd say, that you're looking at individual players who can run off on the roam. I remember Rin back in stage 1, 2 or 3 kills sometimes out on the roam and just shut a round down. Both teams are really good with that. So it's sort of a clash of similar styles. I would wager, being on the defense, you're going to see more structure coming out of Dwg Kia, at least to begin with. What's going to be really telling for me is the score at the half and then seeing how Guts perform on their defense, because both teams, as we're seeing across all regions in the world at the minute, look so much more comfortable on the defensive side of a map.
Certainly do. Now, we're going to be heading to Meeting Room, interestingly. Not one that we see too often. The tertiary site choice here on Oregon is more sort of popularly picked down in dining, but Dwg Kia, they've got a plan. They're ready for this one. They're going to try and hold that top floor for a little bit of time at least. Woogie Man up there with his Goyo Vulcan shields. We've got the attic hatch reinforced, attic wall reinforced, so plenty of utility trying to keep a hold of this top floor. Now, the difference here is with that hatch reinforced in attic, the impact you can have onto site from the top floor here is somewhat limited because you can't work through the attic floor, Des. You can work into kitchen, of course. You can open up those angles from domes down vertically, but if the push comes solely into meeting, the vertical might not actually be worth too much.
Cats are sat here playing behind a shotgun. I think daring someone to step around this corner when it's jammed, they'll just think, oh, there's no way no one's actually at the door. They'll be on the stairs waiting to kill a drone. As soon as one comes in, then they'll run back down to site, or at least back down into the basement. Absolutely incorrect. And look at that. It's almost like a double crossfire setup where you've got the shotgun on the inside, Rin hanging on the outside. This could be really dangerous if Guts aren't careful of this. And there we go, one stepping out. That is the easiest kill in the world. Well orchestrated. I don't know who's observing this, but thank you very much. It's easy. All medics. You've done a wonderful job.
The thing there is, It's essentially a spawn peak, practically. It's the same methodology, but it's smart because it's 30 seconds into the round. When those windows have been checked, they've been forgotten about, and that just shows whilst you are outside of the map playing at this level, you cannot forget about them. You cannot just think, no, we're 30 seconds in, they'll have cleared off from there by now, because a smart player like Rin is going to take full advantage of that. And they're going to hold that angle longer than you might expect. Or they're going to come onto that angle later than you might expect. And Merio, he's paid a high price there. That is the Hibana gone. And that is one of their hard breach options. They've got the Maverick on board still from Light, so there is still a possibility there. But look at that. Light completely catching Yas out there. He had absolutely no idea what day it was, let alone the fact that he was going to be hit by the Maverick on the window.
Yeah, and they've had to rotate away. They can't push inside a big tower where most teams will want to start. You open the meeting wall, you go for a plant on stage. That is the go-to. But smartly by Dwg Kia, stick a mute in there, mute off the actual doorway so they can't easily drone it out. Have someone supporting on the, air quotes, late spawn peak coming in from the top of Armory Stairs. That's forced them to rotate over towards attacking, mainly in towards dining here, and that's what the push is going to have to be. It's going to be a focus onto kitchen rather than meeting. Really good setup.
Well, it plays in towards that top floor hold as well, Des. If you remember, I commented at the beginning of the round that the top floor hold is not suited to supporting defending a push into meeting because there's no vertical angles, so they needed the push to come in through dining into kitchen, and that's exactly what they've got. So this is beautifully worked from Dwg Kia. It is like a game of 3D chess here, as they just one after another move Guts Gaming around and sort of force their hand as to where they're going to play. Now JJ does manage to get himself into sight, starts getting the diffuser down. There's a kill comes in. It's 2 versus 2. Rin manages to find one. Very important for Dwg Kia. Cat Sang it will be. Toxic Babe canister to find that final kill. Straight on to disable that diffuser. And that is the round one for Dwg Kia. A little bit of a blip at the end there. You just wondered in a 2v2 diffuser down whether Guts could turn that around. Dwg Kia taking their eye off the ball for a couple of seconds and allowing that access into kitchen. But overall, a very fascinating round when it comes to a defence of meeting, especially with that use of vertical and the way they forced and shaped the Guts Gaming attack.
It's the same thing as the previous round, where it comes down to what should be a clean, clear closeout for the side of Dwg Kia. You're in a 4 versus 2. The clock's in the final 10 seconds. There should be no way that Guts can fight back. But it descends into the 2 versus 2, and like you say, there's a real potential there for that to be won by the side of Guts. And Dwg Kia would have been kicking themselves if it had gone down that path. I'm glad that it didn't, but as you commented there, and as we touched on throughout the round, really good forced adaptation, I'd say, is the way I'd describe it, by Dwg Kia, forcing them to abandon their take of big tower and instead have to adapt and go for a push in towards kitchen. Less favourable because of the verticals, like you mentioned. It was good stuff, albeit still somewhat close. Now that we've done that full 3-site rotation, we step back into the basement. And here the small adaptation coming out is what I touched on that we saw in the previous game. It's the Wamai and the Jaeger pairing coming together. Not just going to see only the Jaeger on side now. So I'm expecting a much stronger hold behind all these shields they're bringing along, because you've got the smoke with the shield and, of course, you've got that Goyo.
I'd expect so. You're likely going to see, I would suggest, probably the smoke playing in there. We call that area where the Volcan shield was just deployed by the Goyo. We call that area elbow there, just as you're pushing inside of the bunker. Thank you very much to our wonderful observers once again, knowing exactly where I'm aiming for. So pushing in the attackers, if they do try to push into bunker, it causes them a significant problem. You've got your ADS, you've got your shield. You can aggress onto that angle in relative safety. You can rotate back into sight. They'll quite often leave themselves with 1 reinforcement left, so they can always reinforce that up. If you look at the top right of your screen, you can see the reinforcement count, and you can see a little number 1 there because they've left that one in the bank so that they can reinforce the rotation later into the round if they get to that position where they're being pressured. Now previously, Guts didn't push in through bunker. They didn't push in through rear stage at all. It was all freezer side. So we'll see whether they adapt this time, whether they change that attack up. If they do, Dwg Kia, they're more than ready for it.
Yeah, Rin here hanging out in Big Tower, just minding his own business, and a couple of shots come singing in from Trophy. You're like, what the bloody... How do they know I'm here? I haven't seen a drone. Obviously, in this case, it was just blind spray in the hope that someone there. And Rin has rotated down. They knew that Rin was in Big Tower, had gone down the stairs, yet still sprinting into green. Not too sure about that one. Light's taken off the board. That's the Maverick remove that can be such a key pick for this site and all.
Rin's causing a real problem at the minute, coming in with an entry kill this time around, as well as the last round, that peak that we saw. And it's just unpredictability in Rin's game that is meaning they're able to have that sort of impact here inside of the map. Now, round 4 we are in, 5 versus 4. Making good time, Guts. It's not terrible. They're getting that meeting hatch opened up. Going to apply a little bit of pressure potentially to the bottom of those laundry stairs. This is what I want to see, Des. I never like to see a basement attack all come from one direction, because we just saw in round number 1 exactly how that ends normally. You gotta pressure this from multiple sides. There's 4 to choose from. It's one of the few sites that you can actually pressure from every single compass direction.
They're doing it again. Meryu started down Laundry and is now rotating over to join them, I think, inside of Freezer. So JJ's currently the one man hanging out towards Laundry. So they've got kind of a 2 attack point setup here, but now it's about making it work. It's applying appropriate pressure. Another frag grenade gets eaten here, so they're just tossing utility away for free. Another one goes off and Yas steps up. This is the beauty of the revised shields done about a year ago. You get these tiny little peek holes that you can use for some information. Mini mirror windows, if you want to call them that. JJ has made his way down Laundry, so finally we're seeing this 2-point push, but the utility is gone. The clock's at 30 seconds, and you're in a 3 versus 5.
Guts Gaming at the minute playing far too much into Dwg Kia's utility, just going head on into it and letting them have those advantages. It's Woogieman once again with an important kill that turns the tide, as Guts had managed to find themselves a few. Rin closes out the round as well as starting it, but I want to give another shout to the Woogieman, Des. We've seen it a couple of times now, just coming in at those important moments. You saw there that there was a little bit of an angry tide washing over as Guts came in and started to take control of things with a couple of kills, but Woogie just steps up, that calming influence, absolutely not, right in the core of sight. He is a strong spine to this team as he steps out and says, bang, that's done, and now the advantage is back with us.
So one thing I'll probably comment on compared to the previous fixture, think about Talon and how much we commended them for making use of the roam, that was on the defense. On the attacking side, good flank drones, air jabs down. They had every angle covered for here, really. Whereas down 1, they're starting out aggressive and then getting like more conservative and defensive as the round goes by. Not strictly a bad thing, just an observation. But Guts, rather than having flank drones watching Laundry, for example, they actually have players being sent to go and watch it instead. So I'm not quite sure where the drones are being committed in that case, if the flank drones are set up appropriately, because apparently in the early round they absolutely are not. But you can kind of see how this game's feeling a little bit less structured, I'd say is probably the best way to describe it, and how Guts are relying on those kills in the execute to be the thing that maybe gets them over the finish line. At least here, Dwg Kia for 2 of 3 of these 4 rounds, it's pretty clear as the scoreline says at the top of your screen, are the ones coming out on top on some big plays coming out of players like Rin and out of Woogieman.
Well, it's certainly been due, and as I said, they've pushed a number of teams close to the wire, and they've had good performances that on different days would have gone very, very differently for them, and they'd have more points on the board. I truly believe that they could be higher up this table with only 1 or 2 rounds going in their favour that maybe didn't. But Dwg Kia coming out with a great performance so far. Now Rin out on the roam once again, looking for that unpredictability, just looking to cause a nuisance as they have done so many times so far. Got the entry kill in the last 2 rounds. We'll be looking, I'm sure, to make that a triple. Pressure immediately coming in from the attackers of Guts Gaming onto Big Tower. They want to get themselves established in T3, T2. That's what we call the different levels of Big Tower. So, of course, you've got the rear stage area. You've then got Tier 2 where your attic wall is located. And then you've got Tier 3 or T3, which is all the way up at the top.
He's describing the tiering system. We also use that to describe our scenes. This is Tier 1, competition that you're watching right now. We have Tier 2, which goes down to being Challenger League. Tier 3 is Nationals, so on and so forth. We could talk about tiers all day long, but the only tiers in this game might be the ones for Guts as they go into potentially another loss if it carries on. And I know you like that one. You saw it coming as well.
Absolute beauty, that one. I can't get enough of that.
Absolutely. Sounds like the kind of thing you'd enjoy now that you're a little bit older, mate. Absolutely. A little bit of wordplay never hurt anyone. Gunplay hurt a lot of people, though. Coated being the opening death in the first round, if you remember, now gets the opening kill onto JJ.
JJ not happy with that one at all as he loses his head, and the Zephyr is gone straight into the drones to try and do what he can, provide some information, some call-outs to his team. We can see almost all of Guts Gaming were in the drones there quite late in the round to see 4 players actively in the drones with just over a minute left to go. No kills on the board. You've got to have people getting in there looking to find those kills at this point and give yourself some opportunity to think about getting this diffuser down. We don't have a functional opening in that wall yet. We've got the Maverick as work to open things up a little bit, but for the time being, there's no functional breach that somebody can move through to get the diffuser down. So there's still a lot of boxes to be ticked here, Des. Now, Yas, he certainly gets spotted out there. We can see the guns are pointing towards him from the gut side of things. JJ doing his work more than likely on that flank drone and just giving that call out to his team. But Yas is in no rush here. He can just hold this. He can just bide his time and wait for Yura, because at 35 seconds, Yura's going to have to turn his attention towards site soon.
He will at this point, and again, Yas is just giving something to think about in the backside.
Confusion.
Woogie, though, finds the kill. There we go. So now he's shut down. Cat onto a second, a 5 versus 2, as they've got to step their way in. JJ almost caught someone out like that in the previous round. In fact, he did kill the smoke last time. Here at least stays alive as Yas collects another kill in the round. This one should be an absolute shutout for the side of Guts. Meryu in a 1 versus 4 after finding his first kill in the round. Dwg Kia looking consistently more comfortable the longer this game goes on.
That was beautiful play from Yas. I want to call that out. The confusion that he created on that flank. He knows he's been spotted out by the drone, so he doesn't get overly aggressive. He just holds himself a nice little pixel peek over the top of those stairs. But meanwhile, what's likely going on in the comms is he's saying, yeah, I've got him. I've got the sledge here. He's focused on me. He's looking at me. I'm just going to give him a little challenge. I'll give it a little tickle. I'll see if I can get a bite here. Yep, I've got him on. Just come in and push him from behind, and bang, there's your kill. There's your sledge cleared out of Attic, and it's just beautiful teamwork. It's Yas not getting overly aggressive. He could have got himself right up to that reinforcement, Des. He could have been looking through those Maverick walls, just looking for the angle, trying to aggress on. He loses his life, and bang, guess what? Yura can look back towards sight on the sledge, and it's a different story. But he just did it beautifully, just fed enough to keep Yura interested in that angle, to make sure that he knew that he couldn't turn his back on it, because if he did, then Yas would pounce, but not too much. It was just great play from Yas.
All right, well, meeting and kitchen going to be where we step once again. Keen to see if we get the same defensive setup coming out of Dwg Kia, where they had the mute, for example, on the big tower door, and then had the mute playing with the shotgun. You also had Rin playing at the top of Armory stairs, so some stuff to think about here. Assuming our observer's still around. So I was about to say, you enjoying the look of meeting room? We're all good. We're still ticking over, ladies and gents. Don't worry too much. It's okay. I knew it was easy, by the way. I thought earlier on, you know, one real small difference that him and Medics do, and you notice it after so many games of watching them observe, when we talk about a room, Medics will only sit on it for a few seconds. Easy sits there for a good 5-10 seconds while we're talking about it. It's a real small thing that I just noted earlier on, and I was like, I just know now. I just know. I haven't got to ask anymore. Love you, Easy.
So we are in round 6. It's going to be the final defensive round for Dwg Kia as they try to lock out what has been an excellent half for them so far, Des. I mean, the scoreboard says plenty. It's 4-1 in favour of Dwg Kia. Wouldn't surprise to see that go 5-1 now. But it's not just about the 4-1 on the scoreboard. It's about the aplomb they've done it with. It's been absolutely beautiful play from them so far. They've had some real moments. Woogieman and Yas in particular I want to call out. Rin's unpredictability in the beginning of the rounds has just been absolutely fantastic, and Katsang and Coated have done their part in facilitating the freedom for those players to be able to make those plays.
Oh, Rin dead. That's inside of Attic, was playing behind the shield. Unfortunate. I was going to commend that shield as well, because it isn't playing inside a trophy where it's a little bit easy to pick off or to get flanked from Armory stairs. You play it inside of Attic itself, and the only real angle you can be threatened from is actually on the Attic wall. That doesn't matter either way, because Guts have now stepped into their second kill in the round. Coated also going down. This is the first time really that we've seen them punished for being on the roam. Yas getting one back onto Yura. A second coming out.
Big
That's the big turnaround that you want. 2 kills coming back to balance things out and neutralise all the hard work that Guts had done at the start of the round.
And that's a big mental blow to a team when you've come in there, you've got yourself that entry after losing so many of them. They've lost every single entry battle today. It's the first one you go in and win. You get yourselves 5 versus 3. You're like, yes, right, let's get moving. And then all of a sudden, a couple of kills come in from a player like Yas, who you just can't seem to nail down today, and you level again. You're starting over, and you've lost some utility along the way. Merio just a bit unfortunate on the default cam there, missing his shots. Now Katsang on a tight angle, goes for the shotty, and puts the man down. Big Papa Pump coming in and getting the kill onto JJ there. 2 versus 1 now in what has been a massive swing in manpower for Dwg Kia.
Only one less standing as well. It's Light pushing as well. Green solo into the spot where the assailant of Katsang was a couple of seconds ago. Katsang steps out with a smoke in hand and gets punished. Light has already done it once this half. Can he do it again? As he's got 30 seconds still to play with Yas, looking to get on the move. He also has found a 2K in the round. If anyone can do it, you feel like it's going to be him. Steps into stage. Light looking towards the wrong place. As you know about Yas off towards the right-hand side. I don't think he does it. The flank comes in at the right time. This could be pivotal. Baits the plant. Still trying to stick it here as well. Yas comes in. Does he know? Sees the man. They see each other. Yas wins it out. Damwon going to close the half at 5-1. And can I just say, Big Papa Pump.
You know where that's come from?
No.
Jackie.
Has he really said that? Of course he has. Big Papa Pump. Fantastic name for a shotgun. I love it. Either way, for Damwon, another fantastic round. And Guts, again, though, they get really close in the dying moments, even forcing it into a 1-versus-1. But Damwon still get it over the finish line. That has been a really close half, despite what things said. I think on a strategical level, you'll hand it over to Dwg Kia as the defenders. That's normally the case. But Guts did have some real close engagements on site, which could have won them a couple of rounds. Would have liked to have seen less opening kills going against them. Oftentimes, they were losing 2 members early on, but that's one for another day. Now we get to see how they fare on the defensive side, and Damwon get to show us what they're made of.
So we're going to be heading down to the basement to begin with on this defensive half for Guts Gaming. They're certainly going to need something different to come out of this one. I was a little concerned at the end of that last round as round 6. I thought that Yas had maybe just overcommitted to the fight there. He was getting baited out with the sort of couple of seconds of diffuser plant going down and then coming off it, and the Maverick was just trying to bait him out, and I just thought he'd maybe done it and that he'd got him to sort of go in a little bit too deep and just overcommit himself. But Yas going very well today, 9-3, and managing to find the shots that close out the gunfight and close out the half 5-1 to Dwg Kia. So fantastic work from the Korean side in the first half of Oregon. The question now being, of course, can they double down here and can they keep that momentum and force going on the attack? I'm going to be attacking onto basement to begin with. I'd like to see more pressure from all around the site. It was something that I commented on from Guts Gaming. They were very one-dimensional in their pushes onto basement. It is a site that's got opportunities and options from every compass angle. So get in there. Look at that quick speed. 20 seconds and the shield is cleared out of elbow. That is great work.
It's a starting point, absolutely, but let's see how they progress on towards the site. You've still got a couple, at least Euro looking to be the troublemaker around the top of Freezer stairs. This looks really aggressive to begin with, but very commonly what you'll see, and I think he'll do it right now, they'll hover at the top of stairways, kill a drone, and as soon as they kill the drone, they're like, cool, got a bit of utility, on getting back to site. I know that a drone doesn't feel like much, but the fact that you take that away from the attackers, restrict their information collection a little bit further, they're only down 3 drones at the moment, so it's definitely not the end of the world, but all those things can have a big impact later in the round. Imagine if that drone would have been positioned to be a Freezer flank watch, for example, a little bit later into the round. You just don't know how much damage the lack of a drone and that information it provides can be.
Woogie looking to just push on the back of that live drone, just trying to feed in off that information and react to it as quickly as possible, but not going to find anybody at rear stage stairs and moves himself instead to Freezer. Courted looking to come and support that attack, using those X-Kairos pellets to open up the hatch and just give some vertical angles here. Meeting hatch will be gone as well. So what those hatches are going to do is, first and foremost, it's going to move somebody out of Freezer if anybody is playing in there. The very closest you can then play is sort of the doorway and the boxes area, and then the second one, the meeting hatch, that's going to force people out of pillars as well as out of the electrical box. We've got Euro at the minute, still sort of playing in that area, but he can't play as far as the pillar now because he knows that explosives could come down through that door.
Normally here teams will open that wall, the double reinforced wall. You can see Euro's behind. It's called Shaiko spot where he's playing now because Shaiko for BDS will always play there, and teams started bannering it open or acing it open, so the player on pillar would shoot those out as they were opening the wall, and then teams started smoking it off so it couldn't be shot off. E-box became a battleground for utility essentially, and here it isn't being employed by the attackers. You've got Coated on the head banner that could have looked to do that, but with more of the focus being on hatches right now, I guess it's not going to be a larger focus playing into the round. Still at least 5 drones left alive for them, by the way. 40 seconds left, and they had 3 players all on drones just to make sure they had the right information. In a 5 versus 5 at 35 seconds, it's going to be a bloodbath. In they come inside of Freezer. Rim with the opening kill onto Euro to start. It's a good start for the attackers, but Guts, they've got the clock on their side. Katsang with one coming down to JJ. Meryu trading it back the other way. Still side pressure being held by the side of Guts, and now they need to to push in on the side of Dwg Kia. They find one. Kota going down, make it a 3 versus 3. And here, Ace, in 15 seconds, it's all going to kick off.
2 versus 3 now, effectively, with Kota down but not out. There's going to be a lot of work to be done by the attackers. Katsang creeping in. He knows he's a man on the tight angle, but shut down by Lily. Merio with the final kill. And Kota, who was downed, will be finished off. And that's going to be a good round for Guts Gaming onto the board. They needed that one. They needed to somehow stop that freight train of Dwg Kia that was just rolling over the top of them.
You're seeing it kind of shine through there again, except this time round it's with Guts, by the way. The gun skill coming out for Guts in the dying seconds of a round, but this time round the clock is on their side. It's not working against them, and I think Dwg Kia forced into making a tough choice there. We've got to push in, we've got to take gunfights, but we still don't know fully where they are, and that is an issue that has plagued some European teams, Empire being one that jumps to mind in this case as well, is you'll drone something out, and I guess less so in Stage 2, they're playing really well at the moment, but droning something out and then kind of pausing for another 5-10 seconds and then going, okay, shall we have a go of it now? Yeah, sure, let's push forwards. By that time, the defenders have then moved away. They're taking different angles. You know if you get droned that you need to move, else chances are you're getting wall banged, you're getting fragnated. You have to make a change. And in that round there, I think a great example of what a little bit of hesitance can do. We saw the same out of Guts in the first half. Attacking in the minute, in general at the minute, quite tough for a lot of teams.
We're going to have a top floor defence here. Merio bringing along that Goyo. It was something that we saw Dwg Kia utilising quite frequently as well with the Volcan shields. Good gun as well, has the Vector in hand, so it's not a bad combination. Nitro as well. You know, a lot of utility coming along with Goyo. A very good sight operator.
Can be with the shields, absolutely stacked behind the Wamai. The Jaeger we spoke about, Guts aren't employing to use that. Dwg Kia did in the first half. As for the attacking lineup, I mean, seeing the Lion coming out for Damwon, by the way, we had it in the last round too. That paired up with the Yana. That's a lot of information. Plus, they had a lot of drones in the dying seconds. It's why I was kind of uncertain as to why there was a real lack of kind of nous about them just saying, let's just go for it now. You know, we've got this information, we've got the drones on site, so let's push for it and really hammer the site. That didn't happen for a good while.
Rin just clearing out utility from those white stairs, which gives an option to potentially create a multi-dimensional push here, but Yura is going to look to shut that down, just playing with a tight angle from the corner of the security corridor there. Rin's going to creep up, not sure he's aware. There was a ping came out. You can see that 3 ping there. It's just giving that information. Now, interestingly, a red ping comes out. It gives a live location, but sometimes can also be enough to just move the defender and just force them away because they get that notification there. Unlike a yellow ping where they don't get told that they've been spotted on a drone, a red ping will actively tell them, so it can just force them to move out. It's a little conscious choice to do that sometimes.
Yeah. This trophy hold one that I really like as well, by the way. In the defensive side for Dwg Kia, we didn't see it coming out. In one of the rounds, they had a shield playing inside of trophy. This is even more interesting. This left being soft with a shield to play, so you can challenge onto anyone stepping into Master, rather than just saying, look, if you want to come inside a Master bedroom, come and take it. You can step inside a walk-in wardrobe. You can try and open the wall. We aren't going to stop you. It's good kind of aggression from Guts to say, right, we're being cautious. We're playing behind shields, but we've got one in trophy, one playing inside a game to contest through into Master itself. It's almost them trying to block in a similar way that Damwon did back in the first half. Remember their hold around the meeting area, trying to hold Big Tower? This is in a different location, but again, a very aggressive defense coming out of Guts. I like seeing it.
Willie, very low health on the Valkyrie there. Going to keep himself deep inside the site now, try and make himself that last line of defence and out of the action. Yura's going to open things up finally with a kill onto Rin. Almost 2 minutes in, and Rin was just, again, trying to pressure the bottom of White Stairs there. He was doing it throughout the game, but just unable to make that impact in this round. Yura is going to take a little bit of damage as that information comes back in from Rin to give his location away. Now, playing at the top of Freezer Stairs, a little game of cat and mouse with Katsang here as he's trying to find the angle. He steps up, he gets aggressive, he's going to take shots onto the Aruni. That puts Yura down to about 24 HP and 1 shot away from death, but somehow steps out and manages to make the most of what you've got left. Yura managing to get a kill onto Woogieman, but 2 rain in for Dwg Kia, levelling things out. 13 seconds left to go, and time could be a real issue here. Kota does have Diffuser in hand, can go in to try and get the plant, but that's an important kill coming out from Merio. 2 versus 2 here. Diffuser likely to be successful. No! What a great nitro coming in from Lily to close out the round. Not sure if that was pre-placed or if it came sailing in through Kid's door, but either way, it found its mark, and that is the round for Guts Gaming on the defence once again. Now comes the tricky bit. They've got to go to that third choice site.
Can't forget that the first half ended 5-1 to Dwg Kia, so they get these 2 off-site wins this round and potentially the last one. It could end at 7-5. If they don't get this, though, that's when you start feeling nervous, because Guts have shown how in those dying moments of a round, again, they've got excellent capability, whether it was the C4 composure in that previous round, whether it's the gun skill as the clock works with them against the side of Dwg Kia. They're looking really in control right now, and I need to see how this offside goes. I still think we've generally seen better aggression from Dwg Kia on their defensive side in the early round, but late round at the minute, massively in favour of Guts.
Going to be heading into meeting for round 9 then. It was the third choice site for Dwg Kia as well when they played on the defence themselves. So Guts, they're going to take a leaf out of their book and see if they can come in and find the same success. It was successfully defended twice, I think, by Dwg Kia. It was indeed the only site that Guts managed to win on attack was actually the top floor in Dorms. So been locked out of this site twice, and they're going to try to do the same thing. We've got some top floor presence once again. I commented on this last time. There's no verticals available into meetings, so you do need to be very conscious of a potential push in there. We're getting a good view of Attic. We can see the hatch has been reinforced. That whole floor is concrete, apart from the space directly above that soft wall. Now, that can be used and is used sometimes by the defenders, but it's an angle that can be fought from underneath, and it can be a tricky one to hold on to.
Yeah, fought from underneath normally if this weren't the site, I'd wager, yeah, but I think here, because it is the site, you're no way at all going to let attackers even get a sniff at that for the most part. The attacking, I suppose, angle is going to be the key one too. We spoke about for Guts in the first half, how they got forced to abandon Big Tower and move out towards Dining instead because of an excellent aggressive defense coming out of Dwg Kia. The one thing that we keep on commending them for is that early round aggression. So for Guts, I'm keen to see what their sort of take on it is. By the looks of it, they've just said, look, if you want Big Tower, you can have Big Tower. You've got Euro doing his solo roam. It's a classic thing at the minute for Guts. It feels like it's always his go-to. But if they can pinch him, that's going to be the difference maker. Let's not forget in the previous round, he had that 2K.
Out comes the Lion scan, the EE1D from Woogie Man there. That just sort of freezes the defenders in place for about a second and a half. If they move, then there will be a live ping of their location given away that the entire attacking team can see. So need to be careful when that EE1D scan does go down, although it's quite a short duration. Now, that's a good aggression from Euro. We're really seeing him start to turn this game around for himself. A little bit of a struggle at the beginning of the first half, but getting a second opening kill in a row onto Rin once again and starting to really come out on top of that battle of the gunners.
They're struggling. I mean, they've tried to get pinch angles set up, one coming in through Trophy, one coming via Attic, and he's still managed to catch them off guard. They were more concerned with the flank drones than so much hot droning where Euro was. They'd already committed one drone towards that and clearly didn't want to lose too many more, but now he's going to be an absolute thorn in your side for the longest time and has support not just from Lily, who came up there momentarily, but there was also someone playing inside of Kids. It's JJ, so they can drop down when they feel endangered here. This is another great start because 60 seconds left, Ace. Dwg Kia have barely cleared the top floor.
They have now. Yas going to make a challenge onto that tight angle with a grenade. Not ideal. Knows that the man's coming around. Manages to find him. Can he get a second? Yas went big in the first half and has just quietened off a little bit since getting onto the attack. But if he could get firing, could be a real key for this Dwg Kia side to be able to take the positive result here. I'm not sure if he's aware of the man in Attic.
He knows he's around. He knows.
Move through. He's looking on the rotation. He knows there's somebody around there. He takes shots through the soft wall. Doesn't find him first time, but will on the second attempt. Goes in, finishes the kill. 3 versus 3, but 20 seconds left to go, Des.
2K back into a 3 versus 3. I mean, they knew he wasn't going to retreat back up through Big Tower because they had the flank drone present up there that Rin set up earlier on. Knowing that he's around, really risky to walk in and just take that, but it works. Big flank stepping out, but Yas hits the shot. The 3K, the 4K coming out, not quite for him, but for the team. Yes, Light with a 2K, the 1 versus 1. Coated wins it. Unbelievable. It's not every day you see a shotgun lose at close range like that, but that is the round that Dwg Kia were looking for. They moved to match point, and we've got to see a big effort, a big step up by Guts here to close it out. Yura, I feel for the guy. 2 big kills to start. You thought Dwg Kia were completely stalled out, but in the dying seconds, they bring it back.
Whew, what a finish to that round. Unbelievable. I thought that the Lion was going to get absolutely cut down when moving into security corridor, but the shots just did not land. And at that point, Dwg Kia are able to turn it round and back into their favour. But then the double shotgun switcheroo towards the end of things, it was just so tense. Now, we come in to round number 10. Dwg Kia find themselves with a match point. And this, for me, Des, this is where Dwg Kia need to find the difference. I've said a few times that results have been close. They've been taking teams to the wire. They need to get it over the line. They need to start finishing games off and putting those 3 points on the board.
I always get so excited when I see this kind of lineup. When I see a Mute, a Mozzie, and a Vigil together, I'm like, ooh. If this were Clubhouse, what would we see? We'd see a full 3-floor roam. They've opened the hatch. I've kind of thought about this a few times, is that you could do an SSG-esque Clubhouse roam on this map using all 3 floors where you play in the attic. You have this setup as well. Normally have a castle for this sort of thing, but they'll make you do with normal barricades and laser gates by the looks of it. And you essentially look to extend into the whole map, so much so that you can easily drop back down to site very quickly through, say, security hatch. You could drop back in there through meeting hatch, and you just try and waste the attacker's time up and around the map. And for Guts, super smart idea, I think. Dwg Kia have been really, really slow at dealing with the roamers, clearing out Euro, for example. So if Euro is saying, look, these guys are struggling to deal with one person, what about if we committed 2 or 3? Let's see what happens then. This could work out really well.
Interesting angle coming in there through that meeting hatch into bunker from the Vigil, just looking to catch somebody out, Lily, there. Now, Yas is looking to move in, needs to be careful. I'm not sure if the Vigil, I think he is still holding that line of sight. He certainly is. Now then, if Yas pushes in there too aggressively, he could be in trouble, but fortunately for him, he dips away and he's going to be heading more towards the rear stage stairs area on this attack.
Yeah, it should be okay, I think, here. More about the fact that he's playing on the Iana as you are the solo player. You have a lot to work with. You have the Gun 6, the 2 frags. You have the Gemini as well. Lots that you can work with to give information and also be very valuable on the solo push. Had the Gun 6 out for a second, didn't use it in the end. I think he's put it back in pocket for at least a brief moment. And now Yura, shock horror, is the one looking to be aggressive. Sees the man on drone. That is the easiest kill of his life. Could find a second here as a man steps in. It's the Ash of Rin trying to go for the challenge. Hits nearly nothing. Finally gets it back. It's not going to be a 2K for Yura this time round, and with him cleared out inside about 70 seconds, this should be much plainer cruising for Dwg Kia.
Yura still doing great work for his team. That's his 3rd entry kill in a row. JJ steps up and puts that shotgun to good use on the tight angle at the bottom of Freezer stairs there. That's going to find the kill onto Yas, and Lily doubles down with a headshot onto Rin as well. 4 versus 2, and Guts looking much more solid on the defence of basement here. But the longer question, what a shot from Coated there, just pops back up off those armory stairs like a jack in the box, but with a bit more lethal effect there as the bullets rain in, and he manages to find that kill onto Merio. 3 versus 2, 1 minute 6 left to go, so plenty of time for Woogieman and Coated here, but still a lot of work to be done when trying to push onto the basement site.
Absolutely. I mean, the numbers being down is going to help you know more. You do have 1 drone left. You've got 1 EE1D scan. It's not a lot to work with, but time is kind of on their side here. 50 seconds is a lot of time to make this work, but they know they need to find some kills here. They need to have something on side, and this is going to be a change to go and attack through construction. Interesting, because that's where they started and then abandoned that plan and moved elsewhere, but if the side of Guts aren't ready for this could catch them off guard.
Certainly could. Coated looking then to move in. Being cautious, Woogieman as well, just moving slowly, looking, checking their angles, working as a pair, playing back-to-back here. They want to be able to impact with a trade. That's a big, big opener for Woogieman there in this late round phase, but JJ steps out, gets 1 from Freezer. It's all down to Coated, 1 versus 2, 15 seconds left to go. He's using his utility, he's using the gadgets. Can he find the spray down?
Coated.
The shots are wild! Wild there, but he gets the kill. He can't find the second as Light steps out and finishes things off for Guts, and this one continues for 1 more round at least.
You can see the rotations and the impact they can have. The total change out to attacking construction really caught the side of Guts off guard. Weren't even looking the right way. No one with any attention towards the north. They were all expecting a Freezer or Laundry push. However, the 1v1, Light, I'll give it to him now. That's been 2 or 3 rounds this game that he has been the sole man in a closing 1v1 or 1vx, and he has come out as the winner. In fact, the earlier round, I believe, was a 2v3 at the time that he managed to catch 2 frag grenades on and win the ensuing 1v1 with Rin. But it's been big impact. Unfortunately, it's only got them, though, to a 4-6 scoreline. Dwg Kia, going to try Kid Storms, head up to that top floor. And Woogie's got a small bit of spice of his own here, bringing in the Ying and dropping away the Lion for the first time in this half.
Well, I think Europe both having great games so far. They've both done a lot of work for Guts. They're certainly keeping them in this. Now, the point that we're at 6-4 doesn't surprise me too much. I'm thinking of Dwg Kia and how I've said they need to close this one out and make sure they get it over the line. They can't find themselves in overtime here. They need to be getting these full 3-pointers when the opportunity presents itself. But we must remember, of course, Guts won the basement, they won dorms. It's, I think, going to come down to round 12 and that third choice site. Obviously, Dwg Kia last time able to come out and prove supreme on the meeting site, get that round on the board, but it could well have the entire game hinging on that site. We'll find out in 3 minutes. We're going to play out round 11 now. It's up on the top floor. It's going to be dorms. The defensive setup is reasonably standard. We've got Europe playing on the Aruni, so I'll be interested to see where those laser gates have been deployed and how much impact they can have as the round progresses. We've got one that there is particularly just being used as a utility soak because you're trying to protect the deployable shield that's in behind it. So again, you're just making the attackers have to expend more effort and utility to get through to that point. Ooh, big early damage there on a potential peak, Des.
Almost like losing his life as well. Would have been painful to lose the smoke so early on. I want to touch on Euro again because we keep on talking about Euro and the Roma impact that he's having. Round 8 and 9, he had the 2 entry kills in both of those rounds. Did a lot of damage, and here he's the one once again on a bit of a solo lurk, trying to catch someone out if they do try and push him through the main entrance, or might just find himself hovering around Zulu at some point into the round. We've seen a flank attempt coming out of Guts already. It wasn't successful from Zulu, for example, but you never know what he can achieve. For the side of Dwg Kia, they want to focus on this Ying. That is their big playmaker in this round. They can get a good few Candelas and smokes in, go for a plant as chaos ensues. That is their winning ticket in this game, I think. And knowing them, they do not want to see this go through to overtime. Not with how well Guts have been fighting back.
Certainly not. We've got Dronin coming out once again at the halfway point. Katsang, Woogieman both in there trying to get information fed back in. Rin joins the party as well. So it's sort of get yourself established on your attack, get yourself to those initial positions, and then just take a breath and see where do we go from there. Yash just holding a tight angle on that upside down rappel towards the shield inside a trophy there. Catches view of a shin, but cannot find any shots just yet. Just biding his time. Nice trigger discipline, waiting for his opportunity, just looking for any chance to find a pixel of that operator in behind the shield, but it was played well by White. He's just kept himself really nice and snug in behind that deployable shield there.
Here it's just the drone game coming out to spot any shields that are set up, for example. The Goya being on side could make this problematic for them once the Ying play comes in. A detonation coming out from the defenders could ruin everything. So getting those cleared out is going to be part of the play, and it looks like they're going to go for an assault here through the big window. They've got a couple of other members holding downstairs. In comes the Vault inside of Kids at the same time, and out come those Candelas being spammed inside of Kids as Kota goes in. That should mask the sound of this plant coming through, and with the hard wall reinforced, they can't do anything about this. Yura goes down. 2 kills come out for Dwg Kia. They've got away with grand robbery here. Plant is down, and now Light, he's got to pull off a big one. 2 kills coming back in for Guts. 3 versus 3. Diffuser down, about 20 seconds still to work with here. They've got control of Kids. 1 dropping through. They know they need to get rid of these players playing on the outside. They can see the diffuser, but just can't safely stick it at this point. Woogie and Yas, the ones holding out. I'm not quite sure where Katsang is right now, but it's all about stopping these 2 on the outside. In fact, all 3 are outside the window. One shot, Meryu with a magical shot. Brings one down. Diffuse being started. They've got to go aggressive. They've got to stop this one. Swings round. They stop the diffuser. It's a triple for Meryu. He downs the man, but has he got time? I can't even tell. Looking at it, I don't think he does, or maybe he does just narrowly. Does he? 0.26! And he gets away with it!
Merio, what a play! Aggressive onto that double window and just took it upon himself to say there is nobody making the challenge in through there, and then spins the 180, downs the man, and just has time. The thing is, Des, he just avoids natural instinct even there to finish that man. That would have been the difference, taking that final shot. Even as he moved past him, he had to go immediately on to the disable.
Forget about workouts in the hotel gym or anything. That was enough. My heart is racing after that. Oh, my God. We've seen some nail-bitingly close rounds in the past, but that one, I was staring between diffuse timer, between like plant timer at the top of the screen, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Has he got enough time? And I was like, it's super tight. You just don't know. But he pulls it off. That was magical from Meryu. As I said in the moment, he's had a quiet couple of weeks. He came in his first game, did really well on the Flores and Clubhouse. Since then has gone quiet. This is a great game and a great moment to step up and make yourself be heard. I thought for sure Dwg Kia would have got that with 3 playing outside where they could watch the plant, but they couldn't deal with it. Wonderful stuff. Round 12, you said it might go all the way, but this was the round that you were worried about, Tim.
It was the first kill for me. It was the Goyo on the window. It was Euro when he... I'm pretty sure... Sorry, not Euro. It was Mario's first kill. As he steps up onto that double window and he hits... Was it Katsang who was playing behind the sort of the bench?
Yeah.
And that is the one. That opens it up. Katsang was the one who needed to get that kill. That's the entire round there. If Katsang hits his shots, which he was there to do, he wasn't there to challenge onto Diffuser. He was there to stop anybody jumping out a double window and challenging the 2 that were there to go onto those Diffuser shots. And he missed his shot and it fell apart from there.
Oh, okay. Let's see what other madness this game has got in wait for us, because it's coming down to 0.26 seconds being left. We talk about fractions of a second all the time, but that was quite literally a fraction of a second. The difference between victory for Dwg Kia and defeat for Guts, or, as we now know, still a game to be had. This could go through to overtime. And let's not forget in the previous fixture, it was 6-3 to Talon. It went to 6-6 in the end and went all the way through to overtime because they just couldn't complete things on their attacking side. And for Dwg Kia, it feels like they're slowly stepping into the same trap here where Guts could force it into overtime. And when it gets to that point, heaven knows what comes next.
It really is a toss of a coin at that point now. That's a big opener. Courted comes in onto Mario as well, who's going to be riding high. That's it. The adrenaline's going to be pumping. He's going to be riding high at the minute off the last round. So getting him down and out nice and early will be a good job. Also looking across the scoreboard, there's only light that comes anywhere near the kills that Mario has put down at the minute, 12 and 9. So that is a big, big start. But JJ, he's going to level it out with one of the top players for Dwg Kia going by the bar. That she has taken down. But Rin finds one of his own. So we are going through here. We're through the ringer and it's 4 versus 3 as we come out the other side. Dwg Kia with a man advantage for the time being, using those EE1D scans that they used effectively last time around. Woogieman just supporting this push in for the top floor clearance. It's important now that Rin and Katsang, they manage to get through here unscathed and they take down anybody who's in their way so they can start pushing onto site. Light takes a lot of damage there, Des. He's almost down and out.
But not quite. A slither of HP, JJ finding a second, make it a third. They're running into a shotgun. Finally, the trade comes through, but it's a 1 versus 2. Rin has got to do it all to stop this going through to overtime, and they will rue the day they didn't finish light off here. 40 seconds to play with. Diffuser is on the downstairs, who's got to find a way to recover that or kill both members, and chances are he's going to want to try and go for the kill here. He's going to have to head down white stairs with that breach charge being used for a bit of distraction, so they think he's still on the upstairs, which of course he will not be. Now they know. On the side angle. Shotgun at the ready. I think the SMG is out here as well onto the right-hand side. Goes for a spray. Rin wins it. Triple in the round. Does he know where the last one is? He knows that he's inside a meeting. Plant going down with 20 seconds to play. Lily might start to step out here. He's got the shield to play behind if he wants it, but he's going to let it go. Pros don't fake. Rin has got it down, so now can take the more defensive long angle. Going to go aggressive, but Lily hits the shot! What are these rounds? Again, Guts come back from the jaws of defeat to send us through to overtime.
Oh no, Rin, a little bit over-aggressive for me there, trying to take those shots, knowing the man would be coming through the rotation, but just losing out in a gunfight that didn't necessarily need to be taken. Could have dropped a little bit deeper into kitchen and just tried to hold a more defensive angle and just give himself that advantage in the gunfight there, but it's easily done in the heat of the moment. He sees an opportunity to step forward and close that one out for Dwg Kia, but unfortunately it backfires and we find ourselves now into overtime in what has been an unbelievable matchup so far.
What makes me nervous for Dwg Kia after doing so much good work, 5-1 in the first half, and you're like, surely they can't let this one go. And there's been 2 or 3 really close rounds in Guts' defensive half. What makes me the most nervous is Guts' start on defense. We've seen both teams go 5-1 in the regulation halves. They get their choice of primary site. They're going down to basement. You assume generally in these 2 defensive rounds, the defending team will take the win in that round. Then round 15 would be another Guts defense where they've got the choice of 3 other sites to play around. That's what makes me the most nervous for Dwg Kia.
I totally agree with you. Guts have won both defensive rounds on Laundry. Dwg Kia could well find themselves kicking themselves at the end of this one, Des. You know, they've had a couple of match point opportunities there, albeit on the Tough Dorms site, but then they had their opportunity in meeting. They had the diffuser down, let's not forget, twice, and it was overturned. So they're going to be kicking themselves if this one doesn't go their way based on the fact that they're starting on attack, because that's going to be a bitter pill to swallow when they will know that they have had the chances, they've had the opportunities to put this one away.
All right, well, let's see how it shapes up then on the defensive side for Guts, starting us off in round number 13. Euro has been the big focus for us in terms of saying the early entry kills, but outside of rounds 8 and 9, to be fair, they were 4 of his set. Oh my goodness, that is a shot. That is a shot.
Great start.
11 in the previous game got some godly shots from there on the Mozzie, onto Canos and Iana, vaulting in through the same window to find that entry onto Euro, the player that we've been speaking about being problematic for them, is a great start.
Perfect for Dwg Kia. They're managing to clear out that utility quickly as well. Light's ability to play on elbow is going to be impeded as his shield is gone. He's still going to look to get up and get aggressive. Dwg Kia need to be aware of this, but it looks like they've abandoned bunker for the time being. The drones are coming in across the top floor. Make sure that it is clear of any roamers. I like this from Dwg Kia. They're being cautious. They're applying their due diligence. They don't want to get caught out. Now, they'll find very quickly that the 4 remaining defenders are all down on site, so they can have that mid-floor control and they can start to work wherever they wish to. They've got men over by rear stage, they've got men down by freezer, so there is the potential here for a multi-angle approach, which is what we like to see. We don't want it to be predictable. We don't want a set of guns all just lining up in one direction.
Going for the same thing as before, and a lot of teams around the world do this, where you have, again, the Iana, who can generally provide for herself with the drones, with the Gemini, with the frag grenades, with the Gon 6. She can look after herself. Let her go and push by herself normally is the go-to plan. She'll push up through the north side of the map. The other 3 or 4 players all going to put their focus on the south side here. Still getting things opened up. We are at that 1 minute 15 mark. So again, you start worrying for Dwg Kia with the clock here. It's bit them in the backside a couple of times in the most recent rounds.
Cortage just thinking about applying a bit of pressure to Laundry there. I think he keeps moving over this way. He's checking the hatch for the bottom of the stairs, and I think maybe wants to just try and move down there in the late round. We'll see how that one pans out, because it could be a devastating flank if he's able to pull it off. Now, we've got Woogieman established down in freezer. A little bit of damage on Light, but that is all there is in terms of missing hit points as we come into the final 45 seconds. Dwg Kia need to be careful that they don't stall out here. Rin, he's just poised waiting on those rear stage stairs. It's like everything's ready, Des. The trap is set. It's just when is the trigger going to be pulled? And they try to do it with Light, but no, he manages to find the reverse angle, and that's one direction of aggression shut down.
Your rue of the day, you almost caught Captain Light here. So many rounds, he's been one of the remaining factors in the dying seconds, and here he could have a big impact. 2 nades come through, 2 kills. Sorry, there's Light again with a second. Down 1 in the 3 versus 2.
They're
this is their time to win it. Light's gone down as well. Cat found the triple. Woogie with the next. They've done it, Ace. They've won the attacking round they need. All they've got to do is pull off the defense in round 14, and the game is theirs.
And they went 5-1 on defence. Let's not forget Dwg Kia showing absolutely no problems whatsoever of getting the defensive sides over the line. Can they close it out? Is this just an attacking problem that we've seen from them, Des? Or is it a match point problem that we've seen from them? Is it that just sort of trying to grasp the game too hard, but they just need to take it easy here, play a nice steady game. They don't want to throw lives away too soon. They're going to be going down to the basement as well, so Guts will be looking to emulate. I just feel like on the defence there, Guts just didn't really have too much of a clue what was going on in that late round. Rin wasn't even an impact, but would have been had the others not got the kills. They were completely unaware the Ash was even approaching from pillars.
And outside of Light getting the 2 kills, that was the only thing that really went their way in the entire round. Is unfortunate. I mean, Euro dying early in the round is never really going to help you out too much, especially the impact that he's had throughout the game. I was touching on it previously. 7 and 13, 2 of the rounds, round 8 and 9, he got the 2K at the start of the round to really enable Guts to press on and win from there. Outside of that, the impact slightly limited. Again, you're looking towards Light, I'd say, has been the consistent performer across the rounds, and Meryu, well, we all remember exactly how round, I think it was 12, was it, that went down a bit crazy? Round 11, maybe. Around 11 it was that went a bit crazy.
Don't panic.
Don't panic.
We're back.
The lights are back on. Just did the thing, you know. Clap, clap for lights to come on and it works. One of those. Let's see, though, how the basement defense goes. You touched again on the... Oh, well, Lucy touched on the setup. It's again a throwback to, I think, the days of the utility meta, where you have the Wamai and the Jaeger together, Goyo to stick the shields around all those defensive gadgets, the Mute to help with blocking information away, and the Smoke for stall tactics. This is a very turtle-based setup. I have no doubt you might see someone like Rin looking to get out and be problematic. Yas makes me nervous because you're playing on the Wamai who's got this slow-charging gadget. You die too early, you lose control.
They don't want to do that. He knows that there's a man there. I think, was that was just a Gemini clone? It was just a Gemini clone.
No one is going to run headfirst at Shower like that. No way.
Yas is going to dip away to Freezer Stairs, just choosing to play it a little bit more cautiously there. It's Rin that opens things up, though, with a big kill onto Light. This could be the moment for Dwg Kia, Des. This could be the big result that they're looking for with a win against Guts Gaming. They are 5 versus 4 now inside of what could be our final round. It's round 14. Dwg Kia breaking the trend and taking the first attack on overtime. So if they win this, it is all over. They will lock it down with the 2 rounds that they need. 1 minute 50 in, Guts Gaming, they've taken the foot off the gas. No wonder after losing Light.
Well, Rin got the opening kill in Kitchen and has then run up to tier 3 tower. Just to say, you think you got it clear? Trust me, you haven't got it clear. I'm still lurking around. Dipping out now as a bit of pressure started coming through and straight back down into basement. Happy with how much time he's wasted. The Guts are still having to commit drones and resources into trying to clear someone that may no longer even be there. And then we've got to start thinking about the site. Even Coated playing inside a freezer here. Guts are going to find themselves running out of time.
We certainly are. And it's what we've come to expect from Rin on the roam. That's exactly what we saw on the defensive half from Dwg Kia, was Rin just being unpredictable and just creating situations whereby Guts just can't be confident of where that Jaeger is and where they've moved to or where they might strike from next. Now, Woogie Man, we've commented a couple of times as well, been such a solid core inside of the site. 13 and 8, great day so far from the Goyo, and he could have a big moment here in the final round to push it over the line. He's been an absolute stalwart factor, and there you go. What a shot from Merio, though. I was convinced the kill was going the other way, but somehow finds the flick onto the head, and that is going to leave us 4 versus 4, but time is still a factor.
Those reverse angles can be such a bugger, and my God, has he learnt that. Trying to nade out the player who's behind Pillar. Rin has got about 9 lives, apparently, no longer. Yura put him in the dirt. That now 5 versus 4 has gone to a 4 versus 3 in favour of Guts. We need to see some kills coming back. Yes, finding one into a 3 versus 3. 18 seconds still to play. This is the time, Guts. Another one for Lilias. Cat drops 2. There's 2 left to defend. It's Coated and Yas. Yas goes big with a double. Can he find any more in the round as Meriu looking to push in? One from Laundry, one from Freezer. Yas loses out. The shield player, look behind you, buddy. He's right there. Coated, shotgun at the ready, finds the spray down. They're going to close it out in round 14. Coated with a massive 2K to close.
Dwg Kia coming out and closing what has been an unbelievable matchup between them and Guts. Hard fought, absolutely nothing left in the tank for either team. They have given everything to that, and Dwg Kia come away with their just desserts, come away with the victory that they so well deserve after what has been a great performance.
Oh, it's been scrappy, but it's been entertaining from start to finish. It's the only way I can really describe it. Guts fighting tooth and nail in some of those rounds. Big clutch moments, diffuses with 0.26 seconds left. I love it. That's the kind of stuff you wanted to see out of a fixture like this. But ultimately, Dwg Kia are the ones who walk away the winner. I'm sure the desk have got loads to break down from that game. It had everything. So let's get over to them and hear their thoughts.
Thank you so very much, boys. What a game. What a, by the